Breaking news. The story of Thomas is being re-examined and the verdict is in. Thomas was right. In a time when images can be fabricated, voices can be cloned, and truth can be engineered by machines, ancient scripture is sending an explosive reminder across the centuries. Questioning is not weakness, it is wisdom. Long before artificial intelligence, before fake news, before digital illusions, one disciple demanded to see for himself. And instead of condemnation, he encountered resurrection. Faith leaders now warn that in an age of misinformation and automated reality, the ability to discern what is real from what is false is no longer optional. It is a spiritual responsibility. Let's go to our correspondents in the field to see what they are saying.
They called him Doubter. History stuck him with the nickname. But the gospel never did. It just called him honest. Just called him human. Just called him brave enough to say, "Words are not enough when my world has already fallen apart." The room was locked. Fear had a deadbolt. Grief had the only key. The disciples had stories. I saw him. We touched him. He spoke peace. But Thomas wasn't there when the light broke in. He wasn't in the room when hope exhaled.
And he refused to fake what he hadn't lived. So he asked the dangerous question, not out of defiance, out of longing. Unless I see, unless I touch, unless my faith has a pulse, I cannot pretend.
And here's the miracle. Jesus doesn't cancel him for that. Doesn't shame him. Doesn't exile him for asking the question out loud. Jesus comes back. 8 days later. Same fear in the air. Same peace on his lips.
Touch the wound, not to prove me, but to meet me. And the hands that would not settle for rumor become the hands that make the highest confession the gospel ever knows. My Lord, my God.
And now we live in a world of mirrors and machines, of endless answers with no touch, of algorithms that decide before we do, of voices without bodies, of certainty without wisdom.
Christ still refuses to be reduced to data. Still carries wounds in a world obsessed with filters. Still offers peace where fear monetizes attention. Still breathes spirit into anxious rooms built from code and silence. The question is not whether doubt exists. The question is whether doubt will become a wall or a doorway. Thomas chose the doorway. He chose to stay when certainty would have been easier.
And his questions didn't weaken the church. They strengthened it. Because faith that has never been tested has never truly been trusted. So if you are asking questions, you are not outside the story. If you are wrestling with truth, you are not faithless.
And the risen Christ still speaks the same first word. Into every locked room, every divided culture, every anxious heart. Peace.
So be like Thomas. Yes, touch, think, stay. Believe with your whole body, and let your questions become the place where God meets you face to face.
Before we end, remember this. Everything you have just watched, every image, every transition, every face, even me, even my voice is 100% AI generated. None of the people you saw exist. Not a single shot was filmed by a human hand. Let this serve as a reminder. Be like Thomas. Question what you see. Ask how it was made. Discern who benefits from it. Test every voice, even this one, with wisdom, humility, and faith. In a world fraught with division, where technology can imitate reality, our ability to think critically is not optional, it is essential. Thomas refused to settle for second-hand truth, and his courage led him to a deeper encounter with God. May his example guide us as we navigate the media, the news, the algorithms, and the illusions of our age. Believe boldly, question bravely, and let truth be something we seek with our whole mind and our whole heart.